Muy buenas amigos y amigas de DGDRONE y bienvenidos a la Hobby Drone Zone, la sección del canal dedicada a los drones de uso recreativo. En las novedades de hoy traemos la última presentación que realizó la empresa Propel aquí en Madrid sobre sus drones de Star Wars, unos drones mediante los cuales podremos sentirnos al mando de pilotar las aeronaves de esta fantástica saga. DGDRONE estuvo allí y pudimos ver y comprobar la fuerza de estos drones.
Utiliza la fuerza, Luke. Adelante, Luke.
Let's show you the X-Wing. So I don't know how much has been explained because my Spanish is terrible, but each of the drones comes with 2 batteries in the box, and obviously the charger that's designed for the battery, so that you can fly one while one's charging, or you have 2 already charged up and you can fly for longer. So we're looking at 15 minutes of flight time with the 2 batteries, but we will be releasing spare batteries with a bank charger that will charge 3 at once. So then you can fly all day. You charge 3, fly 3, charge 3, fly 3, which is what we do in the hobby. In the radio control flying hobby, we have lots of batteries. So we're giving people that opportunity to have that. We've also, obviously, the batteries, it doesn't have any fiddly wires and it doesn't strap onto the bottom and look ugly. We've made it look very beautiful. It's part of the craft itself. So that goes in here and clicks in firmly, so it's definitely stuck in place. I'm going to start it off on the floor. It's also worth pointing out some of the parts look delicate. We've made them out of polypropylene plastic, so they're bendable and breakable. We've been flying these into walls and then flying them again. The worst thing that can happen normally is the propellers might come off the motors, in which case you find them and you put them back on. If you don't find them, you use the spare propellers out of the box. We give our customers lots of spare propellers, and even if our customers lose the spare propellers as well, we have an incredible customer services policy that will, for the cost of postage, we will replace those. We can keep sending for the first year. We will be able to keep sending any of these parts, all of the spare parts here. They actually, you unscrew here and they come out as well. So if it has snapped, you can replace it.
Sí, una cosa que sea más importante, tendremos un número directamente para España, que puedas marcar desde aquí, es un número 800, un coste para el consumidor, llamará y lo van a contestar directamente en otra línea, cualquier duda que tenga, cualquier problema que tenga, puede solicitar repuestos y simplemente con los gastos de envío todo lo que necesita será enviado, ¿no? Y también si tiene algún problema es una atención directa que estamos haciendo aquí, puede darse toda esa atención durante un año, ¿no?
What he said. So, in order to change these, it's a little bit fiddly. There's these small screwdrivers, and you need a very, very small screwdriver to get in here. Fortunately, we've thought of that. And if you look in the controller, push down here, and themed like a lightsaber as a tiny screwdriver, it fits all of the screws, which are actually all of the same across the craft. We use all the same size screw, and it also will work on the controller to open up the battery.
Sí, como decía, es como si fuera también una ¿no? Que eso es algo bastante interesante. Esto se incorpora, como decía, directamente aquí, ¿no? Es realmente...
It's an example of the attention to detail that we put into the product. When we said we want a screwdriver, we didn't just throw a screwdriver in, we made this. And again, the same thing here, beautiful place here that will fit your mobile phone. And we have a companion app that's going to come out shortly after the release of the drone, and the app will make it easier to learn to fly. Essentially, we can't say too much about the app at the moment, but it will run as a simulator. So, and I've been working with the app company to make it feel exactly like the real thing, and it will teach the user how to fly before they even risk their drones in the air.
Pero esto es algo que estamos en ello y saldrá un poco más adelante, ¿no? Pero es algo que vendrá acompañado, digamos, es un plus que tendrá la gente que lo haya comprado para una experiencia superior, ¿no? Entonces, bueno. Más que todo está hecho para los novatos, ¿no? Para que la gente pueda aprender, llevar a sus casas en su sofá sin tener que encender el dron y poder probar un poco de ello, ¿no? Esa es la intención de esto.
¿Tenéis previsto una fecha de lanzamiento?
Estamos de momento para estas navidades, es lo que estamos...
¿La aplicación también?
¿Perdona? No, la aplicación no sabemos si será ya para estas navidades o a principios de 2017, pero será en breve.
Y estará disponible supuestamente Lo principal es...
Sí, lo puedes,
conseguimos engañar.
exactamente, lo puedes descargar directamente sin ningún problema, pero como te decía, estamos en ello, pero es algo que sin duda saldrá.
And as I showed before, but I don't know if I explained it to you guys properly, the drone, generally to fly a drone is very difficult if you haven't flown before, because each hand is doing something different. Both of the sticks move in all of the directions. So if you're trying to control this while you're looking at the drone and working out what to do, it can be very, very difficult. Because we recognise this and we realise that we're going to be selling these drones to lots of people that have never tried drone flying before, we wanted to make that easier. So we've put everything we can into the product, including the app, but we've actually put things into the product itself to make it easier to learn to fly. One of those things is a barometer. So the drone knows how high it is by measuring very slight variations in air pressure. And what that does is it takes away the need for the user to carefully control the throttle, which is very difficult to control manually. It takes that away, and if you leave the stick in the centre, it keeps its height. If you move the stick up, it climbs, and if you pull the stick down, it drops. And if you leave it in the centre, it holds its height. In order to use that sort of system, the control needs to be sprung to the middle, like this. So whenever you let go of the control, it says stay at this height. The problem with that is if you're an advanced user and you have a drone with this type of control, it can be frustrating, because it's a little like driving a manual car, an automatic car.
Yeah.
When you like to drive a manual car and you want to feel the gears, you want to feel the power, it's a similar thing. If you have the barometer mode, it takes away the fun when you're at a high level of flying. If you want to do something simple, for example, when I demonstrate and I just have it here and I put the controller on the table, this is great. And if you want to fly one-handed, then again, it's great. But in order to fly with manual throttle, you need a stick without a spring. So we looked at solutions. One of the solutions was to open up, for the user to open up the controller, take this out, unplug this, we call it a gimbal, the stick, put a new one in that doesn't have the spring, and this was just too complicated. So we looked at other solutions to have perhaps an unsprung stick and change the way the barometer works. But the final solution we came up with our engineers was from this sprung stick. If I push this dial up, now it's a loose stick. So we have a mechanical solution that also tells the drone to change mode. So even if I'll bind it now. So when I turn the radio and the drone on, now I need to connect them. So at the moment, the radio won't control the drone. I need to tell the radio to connect to this one, like a handshake. So I push up, down.
X-Wing engaged.
It says X-Wing engaged, and the Star Wars experience begins. This is as it comes out of the box, so the user immediately will be surprised by the soundtrack. The user can have
Track 2.
a choice of 6 different soundtracks. Slightly more dramatic. All of these are official from the movies. Yeah. So yeah, you can plug in headphones to have a really intense experience. Or if you're battling, because you can have up to 12 people battling at once, if there is, let me work through them. If you have 12 people in a room all flying together battling and they all have the music playing, it would sound terrible, because all the music is playing at different times. So everybody can have headphones in and have their own experience. Or
Track 5. Music shuffle. Music off.
Or you can turn the music off and just have one item playing the music. It still has sound effects, so randomly, if I move the stick,
Will be with you always.
as I move the stick around, and this happens while someone's flying, every now and again, the controller will speak to the user as well with inspirational quotes from the movie. So let's take off. And as I have this here, so it needs a little bit of trimming. Trimming is standard. The flight controller in the drone. When I bind it, I tell it what level is, flat and level. If I bind it on a table that's not quite level, perhaps, then I need to just adjust that to give it a bit more.
Puedes ir ajustando con el lado, ¿no? Directamente.
So I press this, and then I pull the direction that I want to trim it, and there we go. You can start to see it taking back now. I'm still manually controlling the throttle, but as you can see, I've got it quite nice and level now. So I can show you in the first flight mode, which is what this is.
El primer modo de bueno, ¿no? Que digamos como el modo para el novato, ¿no? Para no es muy experimentado.
And even if I'm very new to drone flying, and I'm not very supple on the sticks, if I move the sticks a lot, the drone only moves quite slowly still. This is as fast as it can travel.
Eso es lo más rápido que puede ir ahí al principio, ¿no? En este modo.
And this is me being very clumsy on the stick, so if you're a bit more
Incluso
delicate,
cuando es así,
you can get this perfect control, very, very subtle control, to bring it right in close, to bring it through. So you get very soft control. When you get more confident with this, I press this button.
pasamos a otro modo un poco ya más avanzado.
And this is the second mode. And as you see, I have a little bit more speed, a little bit more maneuverability. So I start to learn the more difficult tricks. And then, when I'm confident with this, I press again, and mode 3.
Ya vamos al modo 3 aquí.
Now I can show you
Ya va más rápido.
much more. This achieves the top speed, that's around 30 miles an hour. But people don't really fly it for the top speed. But the good thing about having a top speed of 30 miles an hour
Es un botón de...
will land automatically.
Tienen botones automáticos para despegar y para aterrizar.
Alright,
Bueno, automáticos.
so let's bring it back up again.
Una cosa también, estas luces, estas tres, no son nada para nada. Cada vez que te den el disparo, vas a ver cuántas vías te van quedando. Te van quedando dos, te van quedando, y cuando te quede una, automáticamente te dispara en esa tercera, va a aterrizar por sí solo el dron. Pero no hay que olvidar que lo más importante de todo esto es que son drones de batalla. O sea, es que al final, lo divertido de esto va a ser batalla con otros drones.
De batalla y de batalla de Star Wars.
Batalla de Star Wars, exactamente. Estos tienen un láser.
So we have an infrared receiver on the drone here, and on the front of the drone we have infrared emitters inside here and here. So these, when I press my battling button, my fire button, it fires the infrared pulse. And at a distance around 3 meters away from my drone, the area that I'm aiming at is about this size, which works out perfect for battling because they move so fast. It can be very difficult otherwise to hit one another. It takes a lot of practice, but with this kind of size, it's easier. So it makes it more fun.
Pero van a estar preparados para, vamos a después tener accesorio directamente para que puedan también incorporar más adelante un láser. O sea, todo esto este producto va a seguir evolucionando directamente ya con el láser, pero claro, ya tenemos una mayor precisión de lo que puedes ver. Y ahí también lo que usamos en ese evento fueron también unos sí puedes ver esos láser con humo y todo eso lo puedes ver de una manera. Aquí no creo que vayamos a poder apreciarlo. Este ya viene incorporado con esta tecnología láser, pero como decíamos, este lo he incorporado con infrared.
Roberto, ¿qué distancia alcanza respecto al piloto?
The range for flight is around 200 feet. So
70 metros más o menos.
200, sí, por ahí va.
It's further than it's further than your eyes can see the drone, essentially. So we've made it so it's much further than it needs to be. Essentially.
Dispararle a alguien a unos 80 metros de distancia.
No necesita más, no necesita más. Los fans de la saga estamos de suerte porque estas navidades salen a la venta. Dentro de un par de semanas ya podremos verlos en las tiendas, así que permanecer atentos. Por mi parte, yo haré todo lo posible para traerlo aquí al canal y que lo veáis en directo. Le haremos un unboxing y una review. A mí ya solamente me queda decir, ya sabéis, lo de siempre. Si os ha gustado, dale like, compartir, suscribiros y ¡buen vuelo!